My sister tried to steal my inheritance after our parents' death, then blamed me when I exposed her to the entire family. Losing both of my parents within a year was one of the hardest things I've ever been through. First, my father passed unexpectedly from a heart attack, and then, just 10 months later, my mother lost her battle with cancer. Grief was overwhelming, but I found solace in knowing I could honor them by preserving their legacy and ensuring their final wishes were respected. Little did I know, my older sister Rachel had her own plans for our family's inheritance, and she was willing to do whatever it took to get her hands on all of it. My parents weren't wealthy, but they had worked hard their entire lives to ensure my sister and I would have something when they were gone. The most significant part of their estate was the family home, which had been in our family for 3 generations. It wasn't a mansion, but it was a beautiful, cozy house filled with memories and history. When my mom passed, Rachel and I were devastated, but the will was clear. The estate was to be split evenly between us. The house, specifically, was to be mine. My parents knew how much the house meant to me. I had lived there my whole life until I moved out for college and had always dreamed of raising my own family there one day. Rachel, on the other hand, had no sentimental attachment to it. She moved out at 18 and had openly said she'd never move back to our tiny hometown. At first, everything seemed amicable. We were both still grieving, and Rachel acted like she wanted to handle everything together. "We have left now," she said during one of our many phone calls. "We need to stick together." I believed her. She was my sister, after all. But cracks started to show when it came time to handle the legal aspects of the estate. Rachel started making excuses for why she couldn't meet with the lawyer we'd hired to settle everything. One week, she was too busy with work. The next, she claimed she was dealing with emotional exhaustion. She insisted we could handle things later, and I, wanting to be sensitive to her grief, didn't push too hard. Months passed, and I started to feel uneasy. Every time I asked about the will or the estate, Rachel deflected. Finally, I decided to contact the lawyer myself to get an update. That's when I discovered something that made my blood run cold. Rachel had already been in contact with the lawyer and had filed papers claiming to be the sole beneficiary of the estate. I was stunned. My mind raced as I tried to figure out why she would do this. At first, I thought it had to be a mistake, but as I dug deeper, it became clear that Rachel had deliberately manipulated the situation. She had provided the lawyer with a fraudulent version of our mother's will, one that conveniently left everything to her. I felt sick. This wasn't just about money or property. It was a betrayal of the worst kind. Rachel had not only disregarded our parents' wishes, but had tried to steal something that was meant to honor their memory. I called her immediately, and when she answered, her voice was overly sweet, like nothing was wrong. "Hey, sis, what's up?" she chirped. "Rachel," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Why did you tell the lawyer you're the sole beneficiary of Mom and Dad's estate?" There was a pause, then a nervous laugh. "What are you talking about?" she said. "I spoke to the lawyer," I snapped. "I know what you did. You filed a fake will, Rachel. Do you have any idea how serious this is?" Her tone shifted immediately. "Oh, don't be so dramatic," she said. "I was just trying to speed things up. You're always so slow with this kind of stuff, and I knew you'd get the house anyway. I needed the money now, okay?" I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "You forged a will and tried to cut me out of everything. That's not speeding things up. That's theft," Rachel exploded. "You don't understand what it's like for me, okay? I have kids to take care of, bills to pay, and a husband who doesn't make enough. You don't need the money like I do. You're single. You don't even have kids. You don't need that house. It's just a stupid old house." Her words stung, but they also fueled my resolve. "It's not about what I need, Rachel. It's about what Mom and Dad wanted. They wanted us to share the inheritance equally. And you were supposed to honor that, not try to steal everything for yourself." Rachel hung up on me, but I wasn't about to let her off the hook. I contacted the lawyer again and provided copies of the real will, along with documentation proving Rachel's forgery. The lawyer assured me that her claim would be invalidated and that the proper legal action would be taken. I thought that would be the end of it, but Rachel didn't go quietly. She started spreading lies to our extended family, telling them I was cutting her out of the estate and refusing to share anything. She painted herself as the victim, a struggling mother being bullied by her selfish little sister. At first, some relatives bought into her story. I started getting phone calls and texts from aunts, uncles, and cousins, all asking why I wasn't helping Rachel in her time of need. But as soon as I explained the truth and provided evidence of what she'd done, the tide turned. Most of the family was horrified by Rachel's actions, and a few even cut ties with her completely. When Rachel realized she was losing support, she tried to apologize. She showed up at my door in tears, begging me to drop the legal action but it was too late. She had shown me exactly who she was, and I wasn't about to let her manipulate me again. The house is officially mine now, and the rest of the estate has been divided according to my parents' wishes. Rachel hasn't spoken to me since the legal proceedings ended, and honestly, I'm okay with that. Losing her as a sister hurt, but losing my parents' legacy to her greed would have been far worse. Every time I walk through the halls of the family home, I think of my mom and dad. I feel their presence in the walls, the floors, the familiar creak of the stairs. This house isn't just mine, it's theirs. And I'll do everything I can to make sure it remains a place of love and respect, just like they intended.